Why is it that one of the nicest, most morally sound villains in the KD is also one of the creepiest villains in the show? I mean, easily. It's not even close if you ask me. Objectively, Count Spankulot is a weird guy. I get it's like a curse, but his whole thing is that he breaks into people's, usually kids' houses and spanks them. That's it. Even in the scope of the KD world, that's gotta be instant jail time. In fact, as far as I know, he's the only villain in the show who actually sees a jail cell, which is crazy because some of these villains need to have their freedom taken away. The nurse who was putting pink eye into her apple crumble and serving it to kids shouldn't be allowed to know what life outside of a jail is like, but I digress. Sure, he tries to only target naughty children like he's Freaky Fred, but come on. Breaking and entering is a step too far. At least try to catch him out in the streets. And it's all very unfortunate because he's genuinely a good guy. He couldn't forgive himself for accidentally spanking an innocent child and only gets involved when it's a justifiable reason. In fact, his first real appearance in the show is him teaming up with the K&D because he wants to use his powers to help kids. Of course, this kind of backfires because he's pretty annoying all things considered and Sector V can't stand him. So what do? Set him up to spank an innocent villain. In this case, a judge, which gets him sent straight to jail. Sounds familiar? Yeah, remember how I said he felt guilty about spanking an innocent child? Well, it turns out the K&D was responsible for that as well, which means they sacrificed one of their own to put a guy who I don't think was really doing anything in jail. And since finding that out, Count Spankulot hates the K&D and tries to get them when he can. That also has to make him the most justified villain in the show. If I was him, I would also be pissed. First of all, you put me in jail, and second of all, you put a kid in the crossfire to get me in jail? That's vile. Justice for Spankulot, though let's stop him from breaking into people's houses.